Hey, Sloan, brother, how you doing? Come on out here and holler at me. Hey, all praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. I got a brother come up here and say, hey, look, he like what we doing. What are we doing? Sloan, sis, hey, you got a flyer? You get your flyer, sis? You come back out? Hey, go ahead and go to the store. Come back out and holler at me, okay? Come on out, brother. Hey, the first question I got for you.
Happy late Sabbath day.
Oh, praise hey, sister, know what it is. Know what time it is.
That's right. Preach to me, I know what.
All praise to the Most High. The seventh day is the Sabbath day of the Lord. Our people go to church on the first day of the week. Right. Brother, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you one question. I'm going to ask you several questions. What's your nationality, bro? Come on around here. Come on around the front real quick. All praise the Most High. Hey, my name's Boaz, man. What's your name? Jonte. Jonte? I said it right? Jonte. Hey, Jonte, let me ask you a question. What, you and me, cause we the same. What is our nationality?
They trying to program us that we African American, but I know we is black.
Ah, see, you said something key there. Jonte said something key. He said they try to program us. How did they try to program to say that we're African Americans, Jonte? What did they do to us?
Government, you know what I'm saying? I can't put it.
Let me help you out. What did they do to Kunta Kinte?
Yeah, I can't remember.
They called him Toby, right? How did they do that? They whipped it in him. They beat it in him. Say your name is Toby, boy. Yeah. You gonna like that name, and you gonna have that name for the rest of your life. We didn't have no choice. So they programmed us through slavery and say, you African American, okay? But that's not who we are. You said they programmed you right. Through slavery, through the education system, through their religion, they say that you the Gentile. You are not God's chosen people. You're African American. But that's not what God called us, right? That's right. Let's get into it. Give me Deuteronomy 28 verse 15. So let's go into what happened to us. What happened to us? Why are we getting called these things today? I'm going to answer your question. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. Read. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments.
Hold on for a minute, John. Hey, let me show you something. I'm going to show you something. Let me show you something real quick. Give me 1 Corinthians. I'm going to show you something real quick. You love God, right? Love God. I'm going to show you what the love of God is and how to love God first. So our people have the misconception when they say I love God.
My dad is a pastor.
Your dad is a pastor? Okay then. So did your dad teach you how to love God?
I wouldn't say he did.
Okay. But how do you think we love God? We all got the
different ways of praising God. Like I know that you don't gotta go to church every Sunday to believe in God and praise Him.
Oh, okay. Right? Okay then.
Do you agree with me on that?
Yeah, on the first day of church, our people that go to church on the first day of the week is going on the wrong day. Okay?
Yeah, I know that. So I know Sunday is the first day of the week.
Right. The commandment teaches us to keep the seventh day, which is the Sabbath, which they call today Saturday. So that's a commandment to come every Sabbath day and do what the Lord commanded us to do. Yeah. Now, I'm going to show you what it is the love of God, okay? Because obviously you wasn't taught. But I'm going to show you what God says what the love of God is.
That's right.
And how we're supposed to love Him. Read.
The book of 1 John, chapter 5 and verse 3.
This is how we love God, according to the Bible. Read.
For this is the love of God, that we keep His commandments.
What is the love of God?
That we keep His commandments.
What is the love of God?
That we keep His commandments.
Read on.
And His commandments are not grievous.
God said His commandments are not grievous, meaning they're not hard to do. They're not hard to do. They're not.
I was hoping that you what they were.
Right. It's not hard to do. So I'm going to show you a commandment to show that you love God. Give me 1 Corinthians. You know what I want. Read.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3 and verse 16.
Read.
Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
Know ye not that you are the temple of God. Your body is the temple of God. Read.
And that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you.
So you have a spirit in you, and God is trying to dwell in you. Okay? Trying to dwell with you together. Read.
If any man defile the temple of God.
If you defile your temple of God, read.
Him shall God destroy.
How are you defiling your temple of God right now? How are you defiling your temple right now? Defiling means destroying. How are you destroying your body? That's your temple. Let's read it one more time. Your temple is your body.
You asking me how am I destroying my body?
Right. Right now, how are you destroying your temple, your body?
I say drugs.
Drugs?
Something I don't need.
Okay. What are you doing right now?
I got a car wreck, so I got scratched.
What's in your hand right now?
Cigarette.
A cigarette. Ah. So you're smoking that cigarette, which is defiling or destroying your temple, which is your body. Let's read that one more time so you get the understanding. Read it again.
1 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 16.
Read.
Know ye not that ye are the temple of God,
Know ye not, Dante, that your body is the temple of God. Read.
and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you?
The Spirit of God trying to dwell in your temple. Read.
If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy.
God is going to destroy you, meaning God cannot dwell inside you if you're defiling your temple. Right now that you're smoking, defiling your temple, you think Christ want to dwell inside you with smoke inside your temple? So what are you going to do? Ah, what are you going to do right now? You say you love God, right? That is a commandment, right? Look, he said, if you don't keep that, I'm going to destroy you. So what are you going to do right now? What are you going to do with that cigarette?
I'm a fetish with it.
Ah, so Jay, oh, okay. So hold on, wait a minute. You say you love God, right?
I do.
Okay, then let's go back to, hold that real quick. We're going to go right back to what God, because God is about action. He ain't about no lip service. Let's read one more time. Hold on for a second, read.
1 John chapter 5 and verse 3. For this is the love of God,
This is how you love God. Read.
that we keep his commandments,
Read.
and his commandments are not grievous.
Not hard to do. Is it hard for you to put that down and smash it away? He said it's not grievous. All praise the Most High. That is all praise. That is the first step to show that you love God. Even though I know you deal with cigarettes, because we all battle certain things, right?
That's what I was gonna say. I believe everybody do something in life.
Right.
How you do it.
Right. And by the Bible,
Right.
the things that you battle with that God says don't do, it's going to take a process, right? But now since you know what the Bible says, right? And you know that God will destroy you, it's time to work on that, right? Meaning I have to stop smoking. Meaning I need help.
Yeah.
Maybe I have to go and get there you go. Why? Because that's going to show that I love God. God says
that I'm trying to.
There you go.
In his favor.
Right, because
everybody was put on this earth for a reason.
Oh, pray. I'm going to show you why everybody put on the earth. Hold that real quick. Give me Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. This is why you was put on the earth. This is why all the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, if you didn't know what your purpose is, black man, Latin man, this is your purpose.
Is this right?
Hold on, let me read the scripture real quick. Hold on for a second. Read.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 13.
Read.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Read.
Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
Your duty on this earth is to fear God, is keep his commandments.
That's right.
The first thing we just read, a commandment, you're trying to keep right now. So now it's like, okay, God's saying, okay, now the brother's trying to show me that he really loves me because I don't want to destroy him, but if he keeps my commandments, he's showing I'm going to love him, I'm going to have mercy upon him. Okay?
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that.
So that's why you have to be around like-minded brothers that know this Bible to show you what you're doing wrong, so you can love God, right? That makes sense, right?
Yeah, it make a whole lot of sense.
And that's why we out here for our brothers and sisters, to show that, hey, look, why are you going to church on the first day of the week when the Bible says you're supposed to be kicking it with the Lord at church on Saturday? And you don't supposed to be buying on the Sabbath day.
Am I wrong? Don't you supposed to fast too?
Yeah, you can fast. There's a time you can fast on the Sabbath day.
It's not required? I thought that was required.
It's not required for you to fast on the Sabbath day, but when you're dealing with certain things, give me that real quick. What's that?
That part,
prayer and fasting.
That part I don't know.
Okay.
And I'm always extra on those.
Very good. So the question is, do we have to fast on the Sabbath day?
Yeah.
There is no law saying that you have to fast on the Sabbath day, okay? However, there is a law that we keep called the Day of Atonement. There is Day of Atonement is dealing with fasting, meaning you fast for one full day to afflict your soul. That's what fasting is dealing with, the Day of Atonement. To afflict your soul to the Lord, okay? But dealing with fasting, you got what I want? No, it's the book of Matthew. Matthew 26. What is it? What you get? Prayer and fasting.
Matthew 17:21.
Matthew 17:24. I'm gonna show you something dealing with fasting, okay? Because this might help you dealing with your cigarette situation, all right? Read verse 20. Hold on for a second. Let me get 21. Read start at verse 18. Watch this real quick. Read.
The book of Matthew, chapter 17 and verse 18.
Read.
And Jesus rebuked the devil, and he departed out of him. And the child was cured from that very hour.
Read.
Then came the disciples to Jesus apart and said, why could not we cast him out?
Read.
And Jesus said unto them, because ye have unbelief. Because
some things that we battling with, we can't get rid of because of our unbelief. One thing you mentioned was like, I'm gonna finish this because in your mind, you think you really need that, okay? But the Lord said you don't need that, right?
I mean, not God, this was like my dad told me.
Right.
If you want more with it, you don't need it.
There you go, and that's a very wise saying, right? But sometimes we deal with certain things in life that we really didn't need, and it's hard for us to get rid of, right?
Yeah.
Now the Lord's gonna show us what we need to do, right? Read on.
For verily I say unto you, if ye have the faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove it to yonder place. And it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you.
So some things that we have to increase our faith to get rid of. That's what Christ is saying. Read.
Howbeit, this kind goeth not out, but by prayer and fasting.
So some things that we battle with, whether it's drugs, alcohol, God says some things that we battle with, it's going to require prayer and fasting. Meaning, fasting will help you get rid of certain things that you're battling with, okay? Some people say, we come out with a law and say, the Bible says don't eat pork. You might be able to say, okay, then I can quit that cold turkey.
Oh, yeah.
But since you're dealing with...
I don't eat pork.
Right, well, yeah, so all praises, right? But some people, with that, it might be very tough for them. It might require prayer and fasting. Some other things that they see that they're doing wrong, they can just quit just like that. However, whatever you're battling where you just can't stop, immediately when you hear the law, it might require prayer to the Lord and fasting. Meaning fasting multiple times to try to get rid of that spirit in you. Understand? Okay, so that's one thing dealing with fasting where it's not required, I put it this way, there's no law that you have to fast every Sabbath. But things that you're dealing with, it requires prayer and fasting to get rid of. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All praise. So do you actually know that you're Israelite? Did your father teach you that, or do you on your research on your own? You know?
Research.
Okay.
Like I said, my dad, he's a pastor. He got his own church in Clarksville, Mississippi.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard Clarksville, Mississippi before.
Yeah, some of these brothers around from Mississippi. Okay.
So his name John Gibbons. I probably know him, but yeah, that's my daddy. But he didn't teach me that. I found out that by looking it up online. You know what I'm saying? Get my research, doing my research.
Right. So basically, I'm gonna show you what God says that the pastor is supposed to be doing in these churches. Okay.
So African people, they don't say we they people.
Right.
We're not.
Because they sold us too.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're not that people.
Right. Absolutely. Read that real quick. I'm gonna show you what God says the pastor is supposed to be doing to our people, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Asians. Read.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 3 and verse 15.
So if you're not getting that in your Christian church, God says the pastor is required to do these things. Read.
And I will give you pastors according to my heart.
The Bible says God will give you pastors according to his heart. Read.
Which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding.
So what is the pastor supposed to feed us with? Knowledge and understanding. Let's see what the knowledge means that the pastor is supposed to be teaching us. Read.
Malachi, chapter 2 and verse 7.
Read.
For the priest's lips shall keep knowledge.
Read it.
And they shall seek the law at his mouth.
They shall do what?
seek the law at his mouth.
Read.
For he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts.
The knowledge of God is his laws. The pastor is supposed to be feeding us with God's laws. If the pastor was feeding us with God's laws, we will not be going to church on the first day of the week. The law says the Sabbath day, which is the seventh day of the week. The law says that our women should not be in pants. Why? Because your pastor is not feeding you with God's laws. And that's why we in captivity, slavery today.
Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.